Hi everyone, welcome back to A Sky Full of Stars, Hikari's Route, episode 13. And hopefully this will be the last episode in Hikari's Route. So in episode 12, Project Starlight did happen, and it was successful despite some delays, and pretty much many places in Japan know about it. And partially it's because Keifu Academy from If My Heart Had Wings participated and helped. And from this title, A Sky Full of Stars, they mention about the school having lots of ties with the outside world, and the fact that they have telescopes and lots of cool machinery. Well, if you remember from If My Heart Had Wings, that's an engineering and science school. So, for some reason now, after the party, Akito finds Hikari sleeping in his room on his kotatsu. And so far, he has not been successful at waking Hikari up. So let's see if Akito can wake Hikari up and get her home because it's very late. So Hikari is not responding at all. I had no choice, so now is the time. Hey, it's your fault for sleeping without any defenses. So saying that flimsy excuse out loud to no one at all, I proceeded to, so, come on, it's my chance I get to mess with Hikari for a bit. And Hikari's still thinking about Saya. And while playing with Saya in my dreams, I suddenly woke up to someone pinching my cheek. So I only half woke up, the other half of me is still in dreamland. So floating in the narrow space between dreams and reality. So I moved my head around to fight off the mysterious pinching when a voice spoke gently to my ear. Hey, your cheeks are smooth too, you know. And I felt Akito next to me. Okay, so now she's on the right subject. So my hair is being stroked by a large hand. And that felt good, and I was lulled back to sleep. Actually, she acts a lot more like a girl now, too. Sakito's eyes are on me, and I could feel it. And being stared while sleeping was kind of a bit embarrassing, so I became a little more alert. And just when I felt Akito's warmth, I heard him breathing right next to me. And my heart raced as I lay there waiting. Okay, try it. So just a bit more, but can't reach. Instead, I felt a cute peck on my cheek. Tummy still kind of feels weird. And I'm sure he could have kissed me if he really tried. So it's okay if I stay like this, because that will get him to act more on me. And not that I could ever say that out loud, it's all too embarrassing for a pure-hearted virgin like me. Well, a virgin, that's me. Russell. So Akito's hand is on my back. And there's something odd about it, but I'm glad he is touching me. It felt good, and I drifted off to sleep again when... Snap. Huh? So I almost yelled out in surprise, but I held back.
今の何？背中でプチンって。そしたら胸の締め付けが緩まって。
So my bra hook is undone, wasn't it? But Akito had only touched my back with one hand, so my clothes at that. And there's no way he could perform tricks like this. So I cannot believe, or I don't believe it was him who undid the bra.
アキトって実は女の子と遊びまくってて、ブラのホック外すのなんてバイトのレジ打ちより楽勝だぜとか嘘吹いてるんじゃ。どうしよう。アキトが私のおっぱいを狙ってる。
And suspicious about Akito being a playboy aside, I am not going to let anyone touch my boobs that easily. Hikari? Hey, Hikari? Okay, so we're actually hearing the same event. We're hearing it from Hikari's perspective. And at the end of episode 12, we were hearing it from Akito's perspective.
思いっきり寝たふりしちゃった。別に触ってほしいとかじゃなくて、アキトの動向をしばし見守ろうという風林火山でいうところの山の精神で。
Well, it's your fault for sleeping without any defenses.
はあ？何勝手なこと言ってんの？やっぱ起きよう。そして問い詰めよう。
You're really out cold, huh?
思わず寝たふりを続けてしまった。これじゃアキトの思うツボだよ。
Well, I knew they were big, but wow. And I heard old Akito gulp in surprise. So he's staring long and hard at my boobs.
恥ずかしいよ。
So I want to hide them with my arm, but then he would know that I'm pretending to be asleep. So I have to stay still and keep looking like I'm sleeping. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be bad if Akito caught me pretending to be asleep, but even still...
アキト、私に何する気なの?
So I just had to know, so I kept pretending to be asleep. So my heart is beating so loud, I'm actually worried that Akito would hear me. They're big.
さっきからでかいでかい言い過ぎでしょ。
So I read online that girls with big breasts are naughty, and I wonder if that's true.
後で絶対ぶっ飛ばそう。
Well, if he believes that, I'm gonna beat him up. So what nonsense. So he's the naughty one fooling around with a sleeping girl.
まあ、寝たふりして好きにさせてるのは私なんだけど。
But I'll kick his ass anyways. We virgins have our pride. Such a beautiful shape. And it was a compliment, and I can't help feeling happy.
ダメよ、ダメ。こんなくらいで喜んじゃうなんてちょろいって思われる。そう思われたら最後、もてあそばれて捨てられちゃうんだ。だって、アキトはプレイボーイだもん。
So, sleep more. And still pretending to be asleep, I open my eyes a tiny bit and look at Akito. And I'm sure he would be looking at helpless little me and smirking. So I don't think he notices.
なんか、俺もう我慢できねえって顔してる。
So he's staring at my boobs, dead serious, and then suddenly his index finger was en route to my breast.
おっぱいをツンツンする気だ。
And honestly, I want to be poked. And if Akito wants to, we could do more amazing things. But first, I had to get some answers. So I stuck out my index finger and brought it towards Hikari's overflowing breasts. So now we're looking at the same story from Akito's perspective. Okay, one more. Huh? And at the last moment, Hikari wakes up and grabs Akito's arm or hand. So Hikari held my finger in her hand. Okay, so a finger. Our eyes meet. Good morning.
Ohayo.
It's a very awkward exchange. So nearly squeezing my finger off, Hikari gets up off the floor. Okay, so, ow, you're gonna break my finger. And unperturbed, Hikari pushes me down and leans over to me. And she brought her face right up close and looks down at me.
ちょっと聞きたいことがあるんだけど。
So what is it? Hikari's angry, that's clear. And because I tried to poke her while she is asleep, I guess. And to be honest, I had not really thought that Hikari would be upset by this kind of fooling around.
あんた、浮気してるでしょ。
Huh? So I'm taken aback by her unexpected question. No, I'm not. Not at all. So why would you say that? All of a sudden.
嘘おっしゃい。
So Hikari twists my finger. Ow, 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 ow. Well, I'm being truthful. I didn't cheat. Well, I'm not lying. There you go.
しらばっくれるんだ。
So acting stupid, right? So with eyes that say, well, I have evidence, Hikari straddles me. And placing her body weight on me, she looks down at me. Wait, so what's with this position? I'm getting excited, you know. But Hikari's expression remains icy.
本当のこと言いなさい。じゃないとこの指、二度とおっぱいをツンツンできなくしてやる。
So tell me the truth or I'm gonna wreck your finger. It's true. I'm not cheating. I never cheat on you. And realizing too late she might actually be doubting me, I defended myself vigorously. So, what proof do you have? Or what makes you think I'm cheating? Hikari glares at me as if trying to see through my lie.
ブラジャー外すのがうますぎた。
So, you took off my bra. Huh?
服の上から片手でパチンって。
So,
あんなこと私だってできないのに。
That's quite a special skill. You must have practiced it on other girls. So bending over, Hikari looks straight down at my face. And our twin ponytails brushed against my cheeks.
したんでしょ浮気。いろんな子のブラ外しまくってるんでしょ。じゃないとあんなの絶対無理だもん。
Hikari's eyes grew wet. And with tears in her eyes and a bit of sulk, she stares at me. It's a mistake. So it's just a big misunderstanding.
浮気した男は大体そういうのよ。ドラマでもいつもそうだもん。
So it kind of matches what happened on TV. No, it's really a misunderstanding.
言ってみなさい。どうしてブラのホックを外すのがそんなに上達したの？
Who taught you that? Well, you see, I don't think the story of how Akito learned this trick is that bad. Well, I don't want to say so. I don't want to be talked about something so pathetic.
早く出ないと。
Well,
あんたを殺して私も死ぬ。
tell me. Well, what a thing to say. I practiced unhooking a bra with one hand.
どうやって？誰とやったの？
So who did you practice it on? Hikari's face grew dark with that second question. Take. So see, it wasn't that bad. And speaking softly, I look away.
Huh?
Wait, Take? Yeah.
嘘。竹と浮気してたの？
So you want to be with Take instead? No! And even if I did, Takeichi would not be wearing a bra, would he? So it was Take's idea. He asked me to practice undoing bras with him. But I was the one who got better at it. And even so, that was the first time I'd done it so smoothly with one hand through clothing. Hikari looks at me suspiciously. So they say it makes things less embarrassing for the girl, and I don't want our first time to be awkward. And if I remember, during that practice session, Miharu caught them, and she's upset, like, well, one, you're messing with the girls thing, and two, it shows that I'm single, and you two are getting engaged and doing very well. So, Takeichi with Narie.
よかった。
It's like, well, if it's Take, then I guess that doesn't mean that, or that doesn't mean that Akito didn't cheat. So the daggers in Hikari's eyes turns to tears. Or so I thought, but her whole expression softens in relief.
アキトが浮気してるのかと思ったよ。怖かったよ。
Hikari buries her face in my chest. Sorry, I didn't think you would take it that way.
アキトかっこいいからモテるのはしょうがないと思う。でもアキトは私の彼氏なんですからね。浮気なんてしちゃ
But no cheating.
ダメなんだからね。
Okay, that's right. Well, I'm yours and yours only.
アキト
It's alright. So embracing Hikari, I stroked her hair to put her at ease. And I thought you were mad at me because I was fooling around while you were asleep.
そんなので怒ったりしないよ。
But we're a couple, so it's okay. I know, right? Well, you were awake at some point too. Hikari shyly looks away. She must have thought her sleeping act is perfect.
アキトにエッチないたずらされるの嫌じゃないよ。すごく嬉しいんだよ。
Is that so?
うん。エッチなアキト可愛いし、それに私のこと好きなんだなーってなるから。でもやっぱちょっと恥ずかしいじゃん。それに初めての時はちゃんと面と向かってしてほしいなんて。
Hikari? Well, what a cute girlfriend. Okay, so obviously, if I do remember correctly from the Japanese version, an H scene actually takes place as reassurance that Akito loves Hikari and Hikari only. So now we're past that. So after a bath, Hikari came back to my room looking refreshed. And if I remember correctly, so during the entire H scene, Hikari appeared half asleep, but then it got too intense that it kind of forced Hikari to show that she was awake the entire time. And it also explains why Hikari had a bath afterwards. So she had gone to take a bath after her suspicions about me cheating were laid to rest. Well, no one noticed you, not even the store manager. So they had to go there because they don't want to be noticed or caught by Miharu sensei.
大丈夫、静かに入ったから。
So the store manager and her husband slept on the first floor, so any noise might have woken them up. So what about Miharu sensei or Miharu-san?
寝てるんじゃないかな。部屋の電気消えてたよ。
I see. So that's a relief. But why are you sleeping here anyways? So after Project Starlight after party, Hikari should have gone home after hanging out with Saya.
さやと別れた後、アキトの顔見て帰ろうと思ったら、先生に見つかって、一緒にゲームやろうって誘われて、先生の部屋でゲームしてたの。
Okay.
その後、先生のお母さんに呼ばれて一緒に晩ご飯食べて、お腹いっぱいになったら眠くなっちゃって、寝てたらアキトが私にいたずらしてて。
So a lot of things have happened while Akito's at work.
もう、ドキドキしたぞ。
So blushing, she pokes my nose with her index finger. And even though she is my girlfriend, it's kind of annoying and I felt like tweaking her nose in return. So wait, have you called home yet that you're going to be staying here?
メッセージ送ったらめちゃくちゃ怒ってた。
Yeah, my mom got mad. So what if her curfew had got brought forward or worse? Or what if she is grounded because of this? Although I was kind of happy to see Hikari in my room after a tiring day of work. And it's nice to have someone waiting for you to come home. So wait, what? So smiling Hikari sat next to me and put her feet under the kotatsu.
いつかさ、毎日がこんな風になるといいね。
Well, every day like this?
だから、会社から帰ってくるアキトを暖かい部屋で私がお出迎えするの。たまに今日みたいに寝ちゃってたりとかして。
So Hikari giggles to herself. Well, I can't imagine it.
なんで?
Why not? Well, that was the expression on Hikari's face.
私とじゃ将来を想像できない?
No, it's just well, I haven't had that sort of thing for a long time now. Well, not since my parents died. So when I lived in Mikazuki Village, my grandfather took care of me. But he's moody and didn't say much, and I'm terrified of being abandoned again. And after that, I live at school for a time, and now I am renting a room.
アキト、
So Hikari smiles broadly and looks straight at me.
私は想像つくよ。アキトきっと子供がいて、その子たちと庭で星を見てるの。アキトは多分子供には甘々なお父さんになるから、その分私が厳しくしないとだね。
Okay, let's see what Hikari said before.
私は想像つくよ。アキトとの未来。
Okay.
もう二度と離さないもん。
So Hikari grabs my arm tightly, and losing her balance, she's about to fall on me. And I hold her steady and look up at the ceiling. The future of yours might just be possible. Well, any future is possible as long as it's with you. So future life with someone I could call family.
ずっと一緒にいようね、アキト。
So I hug her back, and she felt warm and soft as if she'd been stuffed full of happiness. You're so soft. It feels so good to hug you.
今度太ってるって言ったら殴るよ。
So I decided to keep how lucky I felt to myself. Okay, so I think it's New Year's. So I could hear the temple bells ringing. And now everything's lighting up. Oh, so it's now December 31st, New Year's Eve. And every year, on this night only, the stopping by stays open late. And it was for the benefit of those who headed out to the shrines in the mountains right after midnight. So, our prayers for a prosperous year.
ねえ、行こうよ、アキトも。
So let's go.
私たち、お店終わるまで待ってるよ。
So Akito's like, well, I'm busy. I have to cover the shift until it's closed. And like, well, how about we go? Because this is much better than, or it's more important to us that we all come together to the shrine right at New Year's versus you keeping the counter occupied. It's fine. I'll visit the shrine with Take tomorrow anyways. Well, that won't feel the same.
彼女を選ぼうよ、そこは。
And you're supposed to go with your girlfriend, not Take. Sai nods solemnly in support of Hikari's protest.
タケ君が彼女を選ぶと思うよ。
And he'll go with Nare. That's right. Takeichi had a girlfriend now. Well, then I'll just go by myself. It's okay. Well, that's not good either. Hikari puffs her cheeks in dissatisfaction. Well, you're going to ring the bell, right? So you should go now or you'll miss it. So we're allowed to ring the bell at the nearby temple. But it's like, well, I want to go with you, Akito, as a couple. Oh, look. Customer. Hello, welcome to stop by. Welcome, the master himself. Old Man Champ turned a little red when he saw Hikari and Saya and then scurried off to the magazine corner. So the old man can't shop calmly with you girls around, you know. So I motioned for them to leave. Fine. If you want to scoot us out, then we'll leave.
じゃあ、ちょっとだけ光を借りるね。
Okay, they left. Okay, so what can I do for you? That'll be 760 or 780 yen. As usual, I stuffed the porno mag deftly into a paper bag. So hope you come back next year, sir.
こちらこそよろしくな、小僧。
And with a satisfied grin, Old Man Champ goes home. Thank you for shopping. Have a great new year. So after Old Man Champ leaves, some familiar faces come to buy things. So we greet one another warmly. And I worked at the standby for a year and a half, and nearly a year had gone by since I moved in. And I had thought of a job and the room as temporary, but along the way I got used to life here, so now it feels like home. Well, this isn't bad at all. And although there were times when comfort could actually be confusing, and without realizing it, I had found my place. So it is kind of bad that Akito chooses to cover a shift instead of going to the shrine with Hikari, and by telling them, well, I got a customer, so step out. And I'm sure if he did talk to the mother Saotome, I'm sure the mother will tell Akito, well, I'll cover the shift. I want you to go with these two girls to the shrine for New Year's. And even the mother Saotome is like, well, I don't want you to be so concentrated on this job here. It's good that you're helping me, but at the same time, I want you to be more student-like, do things that are appropriate for your age, so studying and hanging out with friends and doing club work.
空見くん、
Okay, so here she comes.
そろそろ閉めていいわよ。遅くまでご苦労様。
Okay, so you can close now. Okay. And with renewed vigor, I start closing up the store.
いつも本当によく働いてくれるね。空見くんさえよければ、うちの2号店を任せてもいいんだけれど。
So does she have a second store? Well, I don't know if I should be thankful or unsettled by those words behind my back, so I pretended I didn't hear them. Okay, so they're going to open another store. Well, if the location is better, it would probably make a lot more money. So they're probably going to find somewhere that's a bit more popular with more people and open up a branch. And when that time comes, I hope they make their unemployed daughter work. Well, I think they are already doing that. Okay, see you later.
お疲れ様。今年もまたよろしくね。
Okay, so the mother Saotome is like, well, I'll just close it now, and you can spend the rest of the night for New Year's. So basically, Akito has no excuse not to go with Hikari and Saya to the shrine. Okay, Happy New Year to you too. I didn't go back to my room after closing up. Instead, I ventured out under the winter sky. A cold wind is blowing and the stars are twinkling above. So good weather, but the moon's a little bright. And I'm muttering to myself while I got my bicycle ready.
明けおめ。
So Miharu-san is coming back from the temple. A friend who lived nearby invited her. Oh, Happy New Year to you too, Miharu-sensei, Miharu-san.
こんな時間からどこ行くの？
So where are you going? I'm going to the temple.
うーん。
Now?
そんなもの持って。
Yes.
そう。気をつけて行ってくるんだよ。
Okay, take care. I will. So, what about Kotaro? Kotaro heard us and came out of his kennel. Oh, so I'm going out for a while. It's cold, so go back inside. Aww. So realizing that I wasn't going to take him out, Kotaro backs away sadly. Okay, see you. So as Miharu-san looks on, I bike off into the first night of the new year. So I rode slowly along the dam's path, now in pitch black darkness. And the moon reflected in the lake's surface is just beautiful. And I stopped my bike to take a closer look at the scenery. So even with this much moonlight, Orion shines brightly. And you can still see Betelgeuse. So the last light of the iconic winter star has not reached Earth yet. So we had no way of knowing whether Betelgeuse still existed at the very moment. So if we had better instruments, or if one day humans are able to travel 642 light years, perhaps we would know. And will that day come first, or will Betelgeuse give off its last light first? I'm sure it's the latter. So would that day come during my lifetime, I wonder? Who knows? Or perhaps it better if I didn't have to see that beautiful star vanish from Orion and the winter sky. Using a flashlight to light the way, I walked along the dark forest path. And even though it's just a mostly overgrown foot trail, I knew I wouldn't get lost. I knew this track or this trail very well. And the abandoned train station is just up ahead. So just as Betelgeuse still shone in the night sky, the abandoned train, our secret observatory, is still here. So solemnly I enter the space of tranquility. And someone else is here. And there's someone on the roof of the train. Her long twin ponytails dancing in the wind, she had the moon's spotlight all to herself.
Akito! どうしたの?
And Saya is here too. So from the train car, Saya pokes her head out. So wait, what are you girls doing here?
あんたこそ一人で何しに来たのよ?
So why did you come here? Did you have work? I hid the thing I was holding behind my back.
望遠鏡だ.
Oh, so I brought a telescope.
なの?
So Hikari jumps down to the ground.
何? 一人で星を見に来たの?
Well, is it a bad thing? Hikari and Saya look at each other.
悪い.
It is bad. So we want to look at the stars with you. And I thought so too, but I looked away to hide my shame. So, did they ever go to the shrine at the end? Maybe they did. So I climb on the roof and set up the telescope. And it is the telescope my parents had given me. And it's still here.
懐かしいね、これ. 本当だ.
So it had been a long time since I used this telescope. The Six Stars Club, we had Mako's refracting telescope, as well as the Plays one. And before that, I was the astronomer who never looked at the stars. And to me, this is like praying at a shrine, I guess. So not to the gods, but to the stars. And I brought a large backpack with me, and I'm going to observe the first sunrise of the year alone with a cup of coffee. And what are you two doing here out in the cold?
初詣だけじゃ物足りなかったから.
It's like, well, we wanted to do more than just going to the temple. That's boring.
とくいなくて寂しかったしね.
And we want to go with you, and when we went as a pair, it just kind of felt incomplete. Well, you could have gone home and watched variety shows from the warm comfort of a kotatsu. The two of them waited eagerly while I set up the telescope.
ねえ、何を見るの? 今だと何がいいのかな? やっぱりオリオン大星雲か.
So ignoring Hikari's mutterings, I point the telescope at Sirius and made small adjustments. So they watch silently, unaware of what I am looking for. So first, start the back leg of Canis Major, and from there extend out a distance equal to the distance between those two stars, and there you are. So Hikari and Saya finally realized what I am looking at. Okay, so the Winter Albireo, the star, or the pair of stars that brought them together, especially for Saya. So our original star. So this plain but beautiful double star is the first of our galactic journey. And after forming the Mikazuki Astronomy Club, we used to come to the secret observatory almost every night to tour the stars. And just as before, the Winter Albireo shone blue and orange in the sky.
やっぱり綺麗だね。あれからずいぶん経っちゃったけど、なんだかすごく遠くに来たみたい。
So looking away from the eyepiece, I saw Hikari fell silent.
どうしたの、ひかり？うん、なんかね。プロジェクトスターライトがうまくいって嬉しいんだけど。
Well, you can't see your next destination. Or you can't see our next destination. So Hikari nods, her brow furrows. And a minor case of burnout, perhaps. So, understandable. After all, she is a mere student who manages to mobilize all of Japan. So we might never do anything as exciting ever again. Hikari smiles forlornly, and then Saya speaks up.
大丈夫だよ、きっと。あの頃、私、光とあっくんと一緒なら、なんだってできるって思ってたよ。そしたら、本当にできちゃった。この空に、たくさんの星を降らせたのは、光なんだよ。
Well, I guess you could say that. And if not for Project Starlight, we might not have seen so many stars from the ground.
それに、ほら、銀河系の外にだって、もっともっとたくさんの星がある。おー。
That's true. So looking up at the starry sky, Hikari murmurs. So I add my own 2 cents. So though we 3 have conquered the Milky Way, our journey is not yet over.
宇宙の謎を解き明かす旅に出よう。
Sai and I grinned, and then Hikari couldn't help but grin too.
この列車は空を行く銀河鉄道天文台。さあ、次なる目的地へ向かおう。
So an astronomer once said these words. So there are things we don't know, and we take joy in that fact. For it means that adventures await us, mysteries to be solved. And looking up at the stars always reminded us the way we felt that day. And motivated by curiosity, always searching for the joy of solving the unknown. Our adventures with the stars are far from over. And here new ones are always waiting. Okay, so this is the credits for A Sky Full of Stars. And I'm gonna go ahead and skip this. And we'll see how it ends in Hikari's route and what happens in the epilogue. So, hold on for a minute. Okay, so we're now in the epilogue for Hikari's route, and let's see how it ends. So, when does this take place?
あ、見えた。うわー、見える。すげー。すっごー。
So I think this is probably the first time Hikari was able to bring Akito's telescope to life. So, okay, let's set it up and make some adjustments, and voila! I can see the moon very clearly. And she proved Akito wrong that his telescope is broken.
初めて天体望遠鏡で月を見たあの夜のことは今でも鮮明に覚えてる。ここじゃない、 どこか遠くの世界。そこには山があって谷があって確かな大地があって、まるで別の世界がそこにあるように感じて、行ってみたいって思ったんだ。あの日から私の中にはずっと幻の月の世界がある。どうしてあんなにも月の大地に心惹かれたのだろう。小さな田舎の村で育った私はずっと知らずにいた外の世界を。あの頃の私にとって世界とはお父さんの鉄道の終点まで。その向こうは月や火星と同じだった。そのことに何ら疑問なんてなかったし、出て行きたかったわけでもない。だって私は三日月村が大好きだったから。けれどある日、ぶっきらぼうな男の子と毒もみたいなおしゃれで可愛い女の子が終点の向こう、世界の外からやってきた。そして私は知った。月に大地があること。暗闇で光が弾けるように、その瞬間何かがパッと広がった。何者でもない私にも届くかもしれない未知の可能性。たどり着きたい場所、まだ見ぬ未来。私は夢中で星を見上げ、天体望遠鏡という宇宙船に乗って銀河を旅した。
じゃあ例の日は家族みんなでキャンプするんだ。
そうなのよ。おかげでパパ大はしゃぎで。
Okay, so this takes place in the future.
なんか目に浮かぶね。月のちゃんと陽太くんにいいとこ見せたいんだ。
Okay, so it looks like Hikari and Akito now have a family, and Hikari's talking to Saya about what's happening.
月のはともかく陽太は乗り気じゃない感じだけど、暗いの怖いってベソ書いてる。あの子ほんと気が弱いから誰に似ちゃったのか。
優しいんだよ陽太くんは。きっとあっくんに似たんだと思う。いいなあキャンプ。久しぶりにあっくんの作ってくれるポップコーンが食べたいよ。
And I would like to have some of Akun's popcorn.
あれ美味しかったよね。よし、リクエストしとこ。
Okay, I'll have him make some for you.
さやも今度行こう。うちのちびすけたちも喜ぶからさ。
お姉ちゃんだからね。
Hold on.
さやも今度行こう。うちのちびすけたちも喜ぶからさ。さやおばちゃんが来てくれると。
Okay.
そっちは例の日どうするの？
私は白鳥さんに誘われてるから。コロナちゃんたちも来るって言ってたよ。
So I'm going to an event that Orihime or Shiratori-san invited me over.
いいなあ。みんなによろしくね。
うん、わかった。
何？
また見られると思って。明るい夜が。
そうだね。楽しみだわ。学校を卒業してもう随分になる。
Okay, so yeah, it's in the future.
私とさやは別々の大学へ行き、少し疎遠になった時期もあったけど、今でもこうして仲の良い友人を続けている。幼馴染の特権というやつだろう。たとえ数ヶ月ぶりに会っても、1週間ぶりだね、お腹の調子良くなったくらいのテンションで話せる。そんな友人を一人でも持てたことは幸運であり、さやは私の宝物の一つだ。プロジェクトスターライトの後もむつら星の会は活動を続けたし、私たちが引退した後もしばらく会は存続した。その後部員不足が深刻になり自然消滅。しかし 誰かの呼びかけでまた復活ということを何度か繰り返し、今もどうにか天文活動を続けていると聞いている。白鳥さんや吉岡さん、西高や諸見沢のみんな、コロナやひなみちゃん、その後から入ってきたさらに下の世代たちとも、時大きな天体ショーがあれば集まることもしばしばだ。
Alright, I went a little fast again.
白鳥さんや吉岡さん、西高や諸見沢のみんな、コロナやひなみちゃん、その後から入ってきたさらに下の世代たちとも
Okay.
時々連絡を取り合ってる。何せうちのパパは今でも星が大好きだったから。ルビーよりも赤く透き通り、リチウムよりも美しく酔ったようになって、その火は燃えているのでした。あれは何の火だろう。あんな赤く光る火は何を燃やせばできるんだろう。ジョバンニが言いました。
So I think Hikari's reading a story to one of her kids.
サソリの火だな。カムパネルラがまた地図と首っ引きして答えました。
サソリって何？
サソリというのはね、毒を持った怖い虫だよ。
怖いのやだ。
大丈夫。このお話に出てくるサソリは虫じゃなくて星座なの。
Okay.
サソリの火はサソリ座の心臓とも言われる一等星のアンタレス。
アンタレス。
ヨータにはまだ難しかったか。アンタレスは夏の星。真っ赤に燃えるようでとっても綺麗な星よ。またパパに見せてもらおうね。
ママ、まだ？
Can we go now? So Tsukino peeks in at the tent.
星綺麗だよ。
でも
ヨータ、男の子でしょ？暗いからってビビるんじゃないの？だってじゃない。ほら、行くよ。
So Tsukino grabs Yota's arm and tries to pull him out of the tent. And we can see that Tsukino's kind of being like what Hikari was when Hikari was a child.
こーら、弟をいじめるんじゃないの。
いじめてないよ。ママのチョップの方がいじめじゃん。
ほんと生意気なんだから。誰に似たのやら。
お父さんはママに似たんだって言ってるよ。だから月野は宇宙一可愛いって。
That's true. So was that a good or bad thing? I wasn't sure. So Tsukino's being brave and energetic, while Yota is being a little bit shy. Well, in any case, the kid's father is spoiling them, just as Hikari predicted many years ago. So Tsukino especially, he let her get away with just about everything, so I had to pay extra attention. Hey, so Hikari, we should head out soon.
わかった。
Okay.
ヨータ？
So he is a sensitive child, and the darkness is fodder for his imagination.
おまじないの言葉を教えてあげる。
おまじない？
暗闇を恐れることはない。夜の闇が暗いほど星はまばゆく輝くのだから。
何それ？
明るい場所じゃ見えない小さな光も暗い場所なら見えるってこと。お父さんの そのまたお父さんが言ってた言葉なんだけどね。
わかんない。
そのうちわかるわ。
Well, you will in time. So smiling, I rubbed my head playfully.
ずるい。私も撫でて。
Come on, I want it too.
はいはい。あんたも甘えん坊だね。
優しい時のママは大好きだよ。
はいはい。それじゃあ明かりを消すよ。さあ行こう。星の海で冒険だ。
So it's a November day in the year 2034, and we're on top of a small mountain outside the old Mikazuki village. So what's the matter, Yota?
この子暗がりが怖いのよ。明かり消しちゃったし。
I see.
やーい弱虫。
こら月野。
ママが怒った。助けてお父さん。
もうパパが甘やかすから。
Come on, you gotta give our daughter good disciplinary lessons. And just as expected, Akito has spoiled the kids. And with Yota, he is strict sometimes because he wanted to be a cool, strong father figure, but let's see, he is kind of a pushover for Tsukino.
月野、お父さんと星を見てたの？
天体望遠鏡で見せてもらったよ。ママとの思い出の星。うしし。
ちょっと、月野に何話したの？
Just showed her the stars we used to look at. That's it. That's all.
ママの子供の頃の話いっぱい聞いちゃった。
So it looks like I would have to interrogate Papa about what stories exactly he told his cheeky girl. So the countdown should start soon. So actually looks at his watch. And even without a watch, I could count out the seconds towards that moment. And my heart is racing as if waiting for the instant when all the stars and planets aligned. So 3, 2, 1.
ゼロ。
So, hey, Tsukino, Yota, look.
街の明かりが消えてく。
So from our tiny mountain, we saw the bright little lights of Hoshinaka City go out one by one. And there are more people in the city now, so the streets are almost blinding, but the lights slowly vanish under the cover of night.
お父さん。
So Tsukino reached for her father's hand, and Yota held on tight and buried his face in my chest. So people are afraid of the dark. And not being able to see, not knowing where you are facing, that's what terrifies us about the dark. But there's nothing to be afraid of. Because
見上げてごらん。夜空の星を。
so the night sky is lit up.
見てよだ。空が明るい。ほら嘘じゃないから。ほんとだ。暗くないよ。
And because up there is the dazzling stars. And there in the darkness that came back after the city turned off the lights are countless little stars. So basically they repeated the Project Starlight event many years ago. And this time, I wonder what it is for. So, and against the starry backdrop, it is a November day the year 2034. So after 33 years, so the Leonid meteor shower would be seen over Japan. And this one's obviously the big one that they've been waiting for.
流れ星がいっぱい。光のシャワーみたい。
So forgetting their fear of the dark, the children smiled in the starlight. So it's amazing. And Akito is as wide-eyed as the kids, and looking at him, I felt a tinge of nostalgia.
すごいね。
And the legendary meteor shower seen over Japan in 2001 has returned after 33 years. And it's even bigger than the Geminid we saw as that night as students. Some call it a meteor storm. There you go. And to make it the most of this eagerly awaited major astronomy event, a certain festival had been revived. So once again, Project Starlight. The traces and records of the plan we had executed over 10 years ago could still be found online. And some students had seen them and revived the project. All for the production of a miraculous night. And for the sake of the bright night. So looks like someone else picked up what you did, Hikari.
大げさだよ。みんな綺麗な夜空が好きなだけだって。
Well, I'm sure it was other people's ideas.
静かに音もなく燃えて輝く星屑の雨を見上げて不思議を思う。宇宙にはこんな思いもよらない夜があるのだと。不思議を思い、空の謎に思いを馳せて、想像の汽車に乗って銀河を旅する。私たちにとってのあの日々のような経験をこの子たちにもさせてあげたい。だから見上げてごらん、夜空の星を。そこに見える無数の光は君たちの未来の可能性なんだよ。
The end. The end of Hikari's route in a sky full of stars. Okay, so we're back on the title screen. And my thoughts about Hikari's route. So it is kind of interesting that in the end, it looks like the people picked up on Project Starlight, and they did the same thing over again for the even more grand Leonid meteor shower. So for Hikari's route, I didn't really like the huge drama that happened in the beginning of her route. So when Akito mentioned that, well, I love you, Hikari, Hikari got all crazy and she kept thinking to herself, well, I think he's better for Saya. And you had all these episodes with Hikari avoiding Akito at all costs, and then it led to the Saya being upset and, well, I don't want to be with you, Hikari, and Saya went missing for many episodes. And I know it does kind of lead into, well, Saya's like, well, I'm kind of sad because I interfered with your relationship, and just because I look cute with multicolored eyes and I look helpless, it kind of made you people feel that I need extra help and attention, and I kind of got the privilege. But if there's one good thing about Hikari's route, is that you get to see all these cameo references to If My Heart Had Wings. So the fact that Keifu Academy came to help save Project Starlight from being cancelled because of opposition from people in Hoshinaka City. So they have good connections. They have, I'm not sure what else they have, but it's just that Keifu is a pretty prestigious notable school in this visual novel, and with them supporting the project, it kind of gave some encouragement for the Six Stars Club in Hoshinaka City to go ahead with Project Starlight. And for Hikari, so Hikari does make stuff interesting because I'm sure despite Hikari not being the brightest student in school, she does have all these good ideas. And if you remember, Project Starlight was started as a way to keep the Six Stars Club going. And I'm sure when the whole Japan got a hold of this project, I'm sure it was more than what anybody could have imagined. But you don't have to be smart to come up with really good ideas. So anyways, I know there's a lot more of Hikari in the fan disc and the Interstellar Focus special disc, but I won't be playing those yet. So look forward to the other routes of A Sky Full of Stars if you haven't looked at them, and my future titles coming in the future.